everybody, I am Moldy West, and this is Crashlands 2 once again. In the last episode, we made some things around the cabin, and we also went on a quest with Grawl, talked to him, learned more about his backstory, and we picked up a fishing rod, and now I'm gonna do a little more fishing because I'm pretty sure we can get some good stuff by fishing. I remember in the first game, I'd caught a fish that I could use as a weapon, and I would like to beat things over the head with a fish again. That was a fun time. I got a little too eager and yanked that rod out too soon. Now let's see what we're yanking out of this guy. If you just... There we go. Seems we're only catching chonk snails. Well, whatever. There's still a few more whopper pools that I can go yanking around in. So what's whopping around in these pools? Probably more chonk snails. That seems to be the thing around here. Some chonky ass snail. So this one, I'll get that one over on the right, that one, then that one down there by the fishing icon. Lucky catch. Yep, handful of snail. Just so much snail. I will yank ye all out of the water. I'll fish you boys to extinction if I can. And I do so enjoy driving species to extinction. It's my favorite pastime. Snails. Woo! At least it auto-targets to the nearest whopper pool after you fish one up. Now let's just have more of those chunky snails. Alright, that's fine. We got them snails. And it's time to head on back to the cabin. Grawl had his little outing. He wants to head home. Home for Grawl. And I also need to slap together another thingamabob. So yeah, I can make some new armor. Fuzz knuckles. I do like the sound of beating people to death with fuzzy knuckles. And Grumble Slab. What the hell is this thing? Grumble Mortar. Comes from Stoneworks. Yeah, I do need to make me a Stoneworks. And I need more Grumble Stone. Or Grumble Chonk, to be specific. And Pop Cork. And stools. Why do I need stools if I'm making a workbench? Y'all be needing some weird things to be crafting the thingamaboobs. Did y'all need something? Yeah, we'll put you back in your house because we did your quest. There we go. I don't need you following me around too much now. I need a little bit of my own personal space. And I also need to replace those fat pads that I used making food because I needed those to make the gardening beds that I forgot I was trying to make because I'm a big fat smelly person pants. There we go. Panflake fat pads. He thinks that's enough to make one more gardening bed. And then I just slap that down next to the thing. Yep, you're done with that. And Stippy. I don't know what that is, but well, you do some Rayblade folding, and I have a garden bed to make. And I also gotta make these stools because we need that to make a Stoneworks. I need another stool and more grumbly stuff and pop cork. A lot of stuff needs to be found if I'm gonna be making things. Now, the this. There we go, couple of garden beds. Is that enough for the quest? Yes, 2 of them. Now I gotta talk to Grawl for that. Looks like you've been busy sprucing up the area around the cabin. You didn't need to do that. You can protest all you want, but you're happy about it. You're smiling. You can't see my face. Yeah, I was gonna say something about that. You got some crazy-ass mask on. My emotional intelligence module was updated right before we arrived here, so I can hear it. Your smile is so loud. That makes no sense. Barli mentioned you used to grow spectacular panflakes, and I wanted to make sure you could still do that if you wanted to. Now all you gotta do is get to planting. Appreciate it, though. That'll be a little harder than it seems. I don't have any more panflake spore packs. I bet Barli has some more. She said she'd be more than happy to help. Well, Barli has sworn up and down that she wasn't the one who gave me the spore packs in the first place, and admittedly they just showed up on my doorstep one morning. Don't know who else it could have been, though. Barli's gotta know something. We should ask her about it. Anything to get closer to an infinite supply of your panfloritos, Grawl. Yeah, yummy, yummy food. An infinite supply of it? I would not say no to. What the hell else do I need to make this stool? Popcork. And lots of it. Well, I only need 1 for 1 more stool. And then I need a lot more of it if I'm gonna be making that stoneworks. And you do know I'm gonna be needing that stoneworks something fierce. Yeah, you're done researching Ray Blade foldies. You're done researching calloused hands. You do that and make some glowstone. All that research is gonna be for a good cause. And I'd also really want this talisman of Speeb. But I'm missing the fat pads and the rich clay. And fiber. I can make fiber. I don't know anything that needs the fiber, but still. Ray table. Yeah, that's a fine-ass table and all, but I ain't after no table. I do need some grumble chunks, though. That is something to do, and you've also got a quest for me, don't you? That is fishing pole flux. I did not know you enjoy fishing. I had a couple of pod mates that fished all the time. Embla says she's a natural. I'm working on my slip slanginess so I can reel in something that'll really impress her. Got any tips for me? Oh yeah, I got a few insights I can share with you. First off, wipe your ass with hook. You might make your anus bleed, but that really attracts the fish. And I guess you just ain't gonna share your insights with me. If I could just stop doing that. You need anything? Solid ground. Yeah, you got no comforts that I can provide anymore. At the very moment, anyway. So... Damn, the fucking plants next to the cabin just really don't want to spit out any rich clay for me. I needs that clay if I'm gonna be making my talisman of Speeb, and I like being able to move fast. I forget, are you Barli? Hey, Bidet, I've got some home improvement project I'm working on. Can I get your advice? You surely can. Rosa pretty much doesn't need me anymore, and all this wisdom ain't doing anyone any good just sitting in my head. The cabin's pretty bare bones now, functional, but not super homey. I want to find some home stylings to remind Grawl of Petalwall in a good way, something lush. Ah, they're finally looking to return to their roots. Popwood cabins are all well and good if you need to get something together quick, but we've been putting those together because we gotta get people housed fast. But in the long run, a tendrum house grown from the ground up is a place you can really settle into, and I've got just the thing, a kit for building things the tendrum way. Not that I was eavesdropping, but you'll probably want some floors and doors too. Bidet's always forgetting the details. That sounds perfect. I think Grawl will appreciate it. The thanks is ours. It's nice to see someone taking care of old Grawl. They got their minds twisted with all that happened, but seems like they're finding their way again. Yep. Grawl's getting his home back together and learning how to live with people again. Tendrum stuff, pillars and walls, floors and doors. Oh yeah. We can make houses that look like the ones you got here in Harlepole. And you're not Barli. You ain't got the exclamation point going, or the dot word balloon over your head. But there is one slight problem with the Tendram style house. I can't tell it's hard to tell the doors between the regular walls. I'm going to swing my hammer because I can. Barli, we built those garden beds for Grawl and they were thrilled. Quietly touched seems a little more their speed, but I'm glad all the same. One problem, we got nothing to plant right now. Do you know where you could get some panflake spore packs? Oh, well, I got a couple spare ones y'all can have. Only two? Only two? How are we supposed to build a glorious garden with only 2 spore packs? Sorry, it's all I got. And like I told Grawl before, I didn't design them. I'm not sure how they're put together. Barli, come on, you must know something. Where'd they even come from? I've got a friend I've been writing to, name's Gardan. They're a researcher like me, but more focused on the planting side of things. My hunch is the spore packs are from them. I suppose I could send them a note and ask, but I haven't seen Wally in a minute. He's the one who usually does deliveries for us. Well, you're in luck. Flux is a bona fide delivery expert with years, nay, decades of expertise. She guarantees on-time delivery. I've actually got a letter that needs delivery already. I'll add a little note at the end about the spore packs. There we go. Now just point me in the direction of your friend and I'll get a letter to him come hexes or high water. So, I've never actually met Gardan, and I don't know where they live, but I can tell you where Wally's leaving and picking up letters from him. Works well enough for me. I'll get that letter to him, lickety-split. But if I pay extra, will you promise not to lick the letter? No. I didn't actually know you were going to say no. I was just saying no for myself. Fair enough. Can't say I wasn't warned. Well, that is a letter. And where... Okay, that's where it gets delivered to. Way off to the east. Now, how do I go about planting? Okay, there we go. Those are planted. We wait for them to grow, and then we just harvest like a motherfucker. You're done making stipey, but you got more stuff. Charge stone, potter's wheel. Okay, yeah, we'll do that one. You got that glowstone. River pods. Okay, so that's what you was talking about after I talked to you. Self-motivation. I like the sound of that, but one thing at a time. I forgot what I needed for the Talisman of Speeb. Right, fat pads. I got all the rich clay I need. Now I need the fat pads. And I'm getting that Talisman of Speeb before I do anything else. I want to be able to move faster. Oh ho. Oh, I see a whopper pool. Are you just gonna... That's not in the whopper pool, is it? Okay, it counts. You're just gonna be more chonk snails, ain't you? Yep, chonk snails. Damn. I wouldn't imagine snails being an effective ingredient in making something that makes you go faster. That's just logic. And if my logic be wrong, then fuck it. I don't care how wrong I am. If it sounds right, I will convince myself it is right, no matter how wrong it be. Hey, there's a juice gem down there. And I think I've got enough of you to cross that gap. There we go. Mine! Though I don't quite like the look of the skulls all around it. Something tells me they might come to life and attack me, but they certainly ain't doing that. Now let me just cram those gems into something. Healing power or thrift. Yep, let's do that. I got some thrift in me with the power of these gems. I feel it. What leaves your hands is sometimes replaced instantaneously. That's a good thing to have, alright. Now, if only I could get enough of those damn fat pads to make my talisman of speed. And look at that, I only need one more. Let's ignore the thing that's trying to kill me and just cut things. Nope, no fat pad there. Unfortunate. Come on, fat pad! Damn you! I just need one more fat pad. Why am I not getting my fat pad? There we go. The pads of fat are mine. And I might as well grab me some grumblestone before I go make my stuff. I do be needing more of this stuff if I'm making my stoneworks, and you know I am. Stoneworks, grumblestone, all that shit. Now let's go make my talisman of speed before I cut this episode. I've gone on a little longer than I should. Trying to gather materials for the sake of making myself move faster. Now is that just a thing that gives me a constant effect while I wear it, or does it have to be activated and then it goes into cooldown? Yeah, potter's wheel. Make me a new plant chopper, I'm fine with that. River pods, blockhead, and talisman of speed. Your direct damage attacks have a 10% chance to restore 3 juke charges. Oh, I thought it was just something that was gonna up my movement speed. Well, shit. Not what I thought, but it will have some effect. It's good to have, I guess. But anyway, I'm all out of time for this episode, so thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope to see you again in the next one. Goodbye.